Hi everyone, this is Jay from 7 Heaven Massage, and today in this video we're going to show you how to use the foam roller bar. So if you have any tension in your lower back, in your glutes, your hamstring, your quads, you're a runner, you're a swimmer, you're an athlete, or just you have just basically tension when you get up in the morning and you feel it, this is the thing you need to use. And this video we're going to show you how to use it. Just one thing before we get started. If you have any issue like hernia of disc, any spine damage, any broken bone, you just have to check with your doctor or physical therapist. Can you use this foam roller in the future? Just be attention, and we just get started. Check this video. Thanks.
Start with a roller on the upper back behind the shoulder blades. Use your feet to push and pull your body over the roller. Hands can be placed behind your head or arms can be crossed in front of you, whichever position is more comfortable for you. The body can be manipulated to find the tight spots in the upper back. The roller position for the lumbar spine starts at the top of your hips. From there, it rolls from the top of your hips to the middle of your back. Again, you're using your feet to push and pull your body over the roller.
What you're going to need to do is get a base of support with your hands, and then also a comfortable foot placement for you, so that you can cross the opposing leg over the leg that's in contact with the ground. You're going to have a slight bit of rotation in your hips so that you really focus on the hip of that crossed leg. And you're going to need to use your hands on this one as well as your feet to help roll forwards and backwards. You can vary up the angle on this actual mobility sequence on the hip to what you feel comfortable with. If you hit a spot that's a little bit more tender than another area, you can focus solely on that. On this foam roll technique, we're using both feet and the hand to help guide us up and down our lats. All right, this one's a little bit more challenging. You want to try and make sure that you hold your hips off of the ground as well. Don't let your hip drag on the ground, and go to what you feel comfortable with. This one's not going to be a huge range of motion, so try not to focus on getting really big rolls on here, because you're only going to be able to go a couple inches forwards and backwards. On this particular drill, we've already really kind of hit the glutes and the piriformis. Now we're just doing a little easier version of the glutes. This one, we're just going to get the feet out in front. All right, the hands are in back of us, and we're just going to rock forwards and backwards. It's not a huge movement. If you want to try and glide down a little bit lower, you can also, get your lumbar spine a little bit more if you need to. Do what you feel comfortable with, what feels good for you. But on this one, it's just a very simple forward rock, back and forth. Feet stay flat to the floor, and just using the hands to help propel you forwards and backwards. The hamstrings, this one's not too difficult. I just want to focus on keeping the legs as straight as possible. Keep the heels from hitting the floor. And you're just going to rock back and forth along the length of your hamstrings. Now, somebody with a shoulder mobility issue, flexibility issue, might be challenging for you because you might not be able to roll as far down as Mary is in this video, but do the best you can. And if you have to progress in segments, just progress in segments. All right, on the calves, what you're going to see with this video. It's similar to the hamstrings. Again, you're not going to be able to do gigantic movements if you don't have a ton of flexibility, mobility in the shoulders. But as you notice on the video, Mary's going to periodically rotate her toes in and out. What this is going to do is help hit both the medial and lateral aspects of the gastrocnemius, a little bit of the soleus, and it just varies up the angle at which Mary's applying the foam roller to her lower leg. The quadriceps isn't a very, very difficult movement to do. It's similar to a push-up position. You want to keep your legs off the floor, try and keep your legs extended as much as possible. Some people have really, really tight quadriceps. So for somebody that has a very tight quad, this might be a little uncomfortable for you to do. So you may need to apply a little bit more pressure, all right, to the upper body, to the hands, to try and take some of the weight bearing off of that foam roller. But you're just going to work up and down the length of your quadriceps. You can really try and focus on, on your hips too, up towards your hip flexors if you want to. But what's comfortable for you, you're just going to work your way up and down from your hip to the top of your knee on the quadriceps. All right, what Mary's working on now is, a combination of her hip flexor and also a little bit of her quad if she wanted to. What she's done is she's shifted down towards the ends of the roller. You could also use a 1-foot foam roller for this as well. Those are a little easier to manipulate around. But you're just going to work, all right, your hip flexors and your quad on that one leg. And if you notice Mary, she's using both of her feet and her hands to help push her forwards and backwards. This drill right here is a little bit more difficult for some people to do because it's a coordination thing more than anything. You need to get in that push-up position similar to what you were doing with the hip flexor, but you're going to work the leg that's on the foam roller in a diagonal pattern. So you want to try and almost saw up and down that foam roller. Now this one is much more difficult than most of the other foam roller drills. So take your time at it and get comfortable with it. Do what's comfortable for you. What we're going to do here with the anterior tibialis and the peroneals is really not much different than what was being done with the calves and the soleus. You're going to lay in a push-up position with your shins across the foam roller, and you're going to roll back and forth from your ankle up towards your knee, and periodically while you do that, you're just going to rotate your feet or your toes in and out. This way you can hit your anterior tibialis and your peroneals